They're true story, tiny true stories in poetry form, poetry shape. And also have another book called Walking on Water. That is poetry. Well, my version of poetry, I don't know what poetry is.
It is.
So today I was thinking about, I've been reading a book about death, which is great. Vigil by George Saunders. And what got me thinking about things that are no longer around. And I was, so I was going through this collection today. I found, my dad had a woodworking shop, and it was been there forever, and then one day the building just collapsed. He had his stuff out of it by then, but in the 90s, but anyway, so this one is about a photograph of that building he was in. It's called A Picture Paints 1,000 Words. The photograph, likely taken in the 70s, shows a brick building, the word garage embedded in a concrete rectangle near the top. The driveway that angles through the north part of the building provided a roof to gas pumps that once stood there, servicing 2 lanes. As a kid, I bicycled around and around this now empty concrete island, pretending to fill her up. The right side of the front of the building was my dad's woodworking shop with 3 plate glass windows. After vandals broke the windows a few times, he boarded them up instead of replacing the glass. As you stand in the street facing the shop, in front of the far right window, you'll see a stump where a huge elm tree stood during my childhood. The elm offered afternoon shade to my dad's shop and watched over a ditch, which was replaced by curb and gutter in the 60s. Farther to the right, see that passageway between buildings? One day in my early teens, while hanging out with friends near the grain elevator, one of the boys picked up a handful of wheat from the ground and threw it at a car passing by on the highway. The driver slammed on his brakes to chase us down. Adrenaline surged through my body. Shit, we might die, I thought. And we ran, ducking between the buildings. The driver, alcohol on his breath, grabbed Marilyn and yelled at her until an older Pawnee Rock teen driving by saw what was happening and made the man release her. And there, on the left side of the photo, where you see the evergreen down the block, that's where Marilyn and Sarah lived. That tiny glimpse of a tree in the yard of a house that no longer stands will write 100 stories in my mind.